my name is Stuart Sue, and this is the Ontario Provincial Honor Band Trombone Audition. Listed in the requirements is a 2-octave B-flat chromatic or a 2-octave F chromatic. Just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to demonstrate the F chromatic, but you're very welcome, if you can play it, to play the B-flat chromatic. The key to playing the F chromatic successfully is to play with a slide hand that is loose and free of tension. You want to be rhythmic in how you move the slide, and you don't want to, and when you listen to the recording, you don't want to be able to tell where you're changing directions. It should all sound like you're moving up. Next is the 2-octave G major scale. Notice the difference in articulation. This one, the G major scale, is not slurred, and as such, you don't want to make the notes too long. Put enough space in between them that you can tell that it's not a legato. Next is the 2-octave arpeggio. Same as all the other scales, you want to be very rhythmic with your slide, and also we want to aim all your air for that top G. A good way for me to practice the G, or getting up into that upper register, is to work on the shift between the partial with the F under it up to the G. So what I would do is I go from the F in first position to the G, which is just a sharp 2. The difficulty with the G is to play in a full out second position. It's not really there. For me on my trombone, it's just about here. It's like a flat second or a sharp 1. So the exercise would sound like this. And once that gets easy, maybe you're going to start shifting separate from the F. Maybe you'll go from the D. And just move your way backwards in the scale to the B, and then the G, the D, the lower B, and the lower G. Play it backwards first. Once you can play it backwards, it'll be a lot easier to play it forwards, ascending. Next is the 2-octave A-flat major scale. Next is your A-flat major arpeggio for 2 octaves. Now, if you're auditioning for the bass trombone, you're going to be playing the B-flat concert scale descending to the pedal B-flat. The difficult note is that C. That low C on a tenor trombone with 1 valve is literally, you're going to go as far as you can until you're practically falling off with the valve, and hopefully that'll be in tune. You really have to find that on the mouthpiece. Maybe try buzzing that for yourself to really feel where it is. It's a really difficult note to tune, so buzz it. That's the first thing that's to help you with that. Second thing would be to use a tuner. Really get your tuner out. Maybe get your phone, get the tuner up. Most of them are free. The good ones are free. And you're just gonna set it up on your stand and just play that C. And just try to get it in tune. You might have to go, it might be further out than you think it is. Hello, this is the Ontario Provincial Honor Band audition for the trombone, audition set B. Let's begin with the first etude. It's marked at 76 beats per minute on the quarter note on Dante. You want this excerpt to be legato and expressive. You want to know where the phrases are going and to budget enough air so you can go with a longer phrase. Aim for 4-bar phrases. Let me play the first phrase for you. Notice that it's only marked at mezzo piano. The difficult thing with this excerpt is knowing how loud is a mezzo piano. You don't want to play it so loud that you don't have enough air to phrase. Sacrifice your volume for the length of the phrase. Second, I'm going to go pick up to bar 6 now. You want to take a really big breath at the end of bar 9 for that big octave jump in bar 10. You're going to take lots of air in at the end of bar 9 for that big octave jump in bar 10. One last thing before we move on to the next excerpt. For the first excerpt, you're going to want to really put on a metronome for this. Practice with a metronome, because the challenge with this piece is that the tendency, because it is relatively slower, the tendency will be to drag. So this is how I would practice this excerpt. Set up your metronome, start it, and maybe when you first start off, play with the metronome. Once you get better at that, one thing you could do is to put on a metronome, set it to 76, press start, and count that in your head. 1, 2, 3, and really internalize that. Once that gets really internalized, you're going to want to turn it off. Then you're going to play the excerpt, and when you're done, keep counting in your head and put it back on. In the second excerpt, it is marked at 120 beats per minute allegretto, so it's going to be a lighter feel, but also it's a very rhythmically challenging excerpt. So what you're going to want to do, just like in the first excerpt, put on that metronome and really feel that subdivision. One thing I would do is maybe set it at a slower tempo and just feel what the eighth note. And after you put on the metronome, you're going to want to feel the different type of subdivisions that you have in this piece without even needing to play the trombone. Maybe just say the rhythms. So you just at the beginning, ta 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 ta. Notice the difference in the articulations as well. In the second bar, you have a D eighth note and then 2 16th notes that are joined with a legato marking. You really want to make that distinction between short and long there. Let's start from the beginning of the excerpt. Starting with the phrase in the pickup to bar 10, you're going to notice as you play that, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, and then the triplets are going to come in. The challenge with the triplets is to really feel that. Once again, you're going to need that metronome to feel the difference between a 2 feel, ya da 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 da. You're going to go into the 3 feel, ya da da ya da 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 da. Put it on a metronome. You're going to feel how... Put it on the metronome and that will put you on the road to success. This is pick up to bar 10. The challenge is going from, in bar 18 on that third triplet, you're going to go from an A to a B natural in 7 if you don't have a valve. So you're going to want to practice just going second to 7, second 7. Don't even need to buzz your lips. Just practice getting that in time with the metronome. Once again, you're going to want a very relaxed wrist. What I do with my slide, if you can see, I put two fingers on the outside of the brace and my thumb on the other end, and that gives me enough mobility to go fast, to go from second position to 7th position in a way that is rhythmic. My suggestion to you, if you're doing this audition, is to play it on a valve trombone if you have access to one. This is excerpt number 3. The challenge with this excerpt is to play it a little too fast. The key to playing any piece that is technically difficult is to go with the lowest common denominator. You're going to notice that in bar 13, the rhythm gets significantly more difficult with the 32nd notes. You're going to want to practice that section first. And once you can figure out a comfortable tempo for that section, you're going to want to play everything at that tempo. So just play it slow. So in this third excerpt, you're also going to want to try to sneak a breath in after the third eighth of bar 4, just to prepare for the next phrase and also to make enough of a gesture so that the listener knows that that first phrase is over. You're also going to notice the difference in articulations that you have in this piece. You have the 16th notes that are typically joined together with a legato marking, and you have things that aren't. Please make a distinction so that the listener knows that they're not all the same articulation. Once again, keys to success in this excerpt is to play it slow, and once that gets comfortable, start speeding it up a bit to the marked tempo that is 92.
And we don't care about the young folks talking about the outside.